What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie BLD. This is kind of more of a fun for me video than anything else, but it's going to be a cool video too. Even though I can't grab what I want to and swing with my good hand because hitting with this would kill. I'm gonna have to use my off hand. I'm gonna use my right hand because I'm a lefty. See, the letters are backwards. And I'm going to swing with my right hand. So this is going to be a little battle between, and I know one is a machete and one is more of a knife, short sword. And so they shouldn't be compared. I'm going to go, you can't compare those. It's more fun, okay? It's more fun than educational. It's fungicational. So this is my favorite machete from Cold Steel. I love it. I love it. Even though the tips on these are extremely weak, the heat treats are sometimes barely there. You can see this tip kind of goes down because it bent so many times. But it is what it is. If you don't hit the tip at all, if you try to avoid the tip, which sometimes you just hit the tip, if you're hitting here, it hits really well. It's really good. I think it's 1055 carbon steel. I do believe it's got a polypropylene handle. I have no idea what the tang inside of here looks like, but it doesn't matter because, as you can see, it's used. It's heavily used, and I haven't had a problem with it yet, which is good because if I had a problem with it, I'd be screwed because customer service sucks at Cold Steel. But this does not suck. This is really cool. You have a blade thickness of a whopping 2.8 millimeters. Thin. You have an 18-inch blade length with an overall length of 25 7/8. Let's see, and you have the Core X sheath. It says blade shape needle point. It pretty much is, but it's a Gladiator. You don't have to. It's a mace. That's what it is, mace. So this is the sheath. It's a terrible sheath if you want a sword sheath, but it's a great sheath if you're talking about a machete sheath. It has a protected tip, and it's riveted, and it does the job. It's exactly what it is. The handle is pretty comfortable. It's pretty comfortable. It's got these big bumps here to represent the bone sections. In the original Gladiuses, you have the big round pommel like you're supposed to. You have this area like you're supposed to, the quillen guard. But it does the job. It does the job. And as a matter of fact, I didn't know until I just looked at it, but the inside grip on my dbad is almost the same. It's almost identical. I have a little bit more palm area inside mine, but it's because it's a heavy sword and you really want to be able to have hand adjustment. So that is this. Now let's get into mine. At a 15-inch blade, 22-inch overall length, with an 8 millimeter blade thickness, 52-100 steel. This thing is an absolute beast. So this is more of a personal protection, self-defense. You can literally go into a gladiator's ring with this and just come out victorious. The shorter blade means up close fighting. It means able to do anything you want to it, or with it, I should say. And it's going to be right there. You're always going to know where your striking points are. And that's what I wanted. That's why I went with a 15-inch blade instead of a longer one. And people say, oh, it's not a true Gladius because it's short. Duh. It's a short sword. It's made to be a large Gladius knife. That's why it's the dbad Gladiator and not the dbad Gladius. You understand? So I know while it's kind of unfair to judge the two. Oh, and my sheath is wood wrapped with leather with a removable frog. This is a dark green leather. It is beautiful, beautiful leather sheath. So in the sheath department, I mean, come on, this one already wins. You'll notice here I did actual swells to represent where you would have the bone areas. I also have the big round pommel and guard. This thing is just super, super amazing. I mean, this is wet dream type of stuff. It is a badass blade, but what we want to do is we want to swing him. While this one is a short sword, big knife fighting blade, this one is a go through the brush and chop your way through any forest type thing. But instead of doing it with a regular machete, you're doing it with style. So let's take these two outside. Come on. All right, let's compare. So now in the looks department, I mean, it's no contest. This thing looks amazing. This looks amazing too. I mean, because it's just a Gladius shape. It's the silhouette that's amazing on this. I mean, this doesn't look amazing. It just looks like it gets the job done, and it does. It works. But this, when you look at all the details, and you look at the grip shape, and you look at the details in the blade, this one, I mean, it's the most stunning short sword Gladius I've ever seen, and I designed it to be that, so I expected it. I can't do it. I can't. I want to do it so bad, but I can't. I can't spin it. Looks. This is obviously. I mean, it's a 3-inch wide blade compared to, I don't even know, like maybe 2.5, between 2 and 2.5 inch blade, width-wise at the widest point. This thing is just absolutely disgustingly sick. It is awesome. Now, normally what I would like to do if I had two, I would like to double swing. The stress from just doing that and holding the weight at the end just runs them nerves through my body. You know, here's something crazy. I came really close to cutting off my thumb. It's real bad. You know, I never took a single, like, I don't take Tylenol or anything like that, and I refuse pain medications. Not because I'm a man, because stuff's bad for you. It's bad for you. Don't take that stuff. So yeah, I have since the day it happened, I haven't taken any pain meds. And I'm A-okay. Sometimes you just gotta get over it. But let's get into the swinging here. God, I really want to double hand these. The weight, obviously, even though this is a little longer, this is a little heavier, and I have to say it's not by much. You can really feel the weight in the rear of this one, where here you can feel the weight in the middle, which is where you're supposed to feel a downswinging weight. If this one was a little bit thicker in this area, you would have that, but because the polypropylene compared to the 2.8 millimeter blade, the weight is just, it's too rear mounted, yet because it's so thin, it slices through anything and everything anyway. So that really doesn't matter. This one being heavy, it hits with a ton of force. So on bigger limbs, you're going to get like just tremendous bite. You're going to take out big chunks. This one's going to get really nice bite as far as depth, but you're not going to get like single giant chunks like this one will. But this one won't go as fluidly through brush and things like that. So the machete absolutely serves its purpose. If you're buying one because you need to make a path, this is what you buy. I'm not gonna say no. This is I won't. This is my blade, so everything is going to be better with this blade. No, a machete is a machete for a reason, and that's what this is. So if you need it for machete purposes, boom, 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 I would highly recommend this. If you're talking about you're going on a trail and you got to worry about rattlesnakes or bears or aliens and big feet, this is what you want. If you're worried about some guy grabbing you and sticking you in a cage and then bringing you up in front of the emperor to fight for your life, this is the one you want, no doubt about it. But let's go hit stuff with them. Man, there's nothing sexier than a Gladius style blade, especially the main style with that hard swooping edging. Golly, those look good. All right, so I'm gonna try and work some hitting on this guy. The problem I'm gonna have is it's really bouncy, so I don't know what kind of hits I'm gonna get, but we're gonna soon find out. I'm gonna set the camera over here because I have to use my offhand, and I'm going to be swinging from that direction. So I'm gonna start with the cold steel. All right, and I'm going to try and get some downward swings here, going reverse. Actually, let me pop off this small limb. This would be great for that. and it is. So I'm going to take some reverse hand hits. Now, for some reason, I just reversed the camera, and I can't see myself, and I can't see how much I'm in the shot, so I'm just going to hope that I am. All right. You can see instantly there's a huge slice, a big gap in there. I'm going to try and take it out. I'm going to try and miss. Damn, right hand. So there you go. So you can see that it left a really nice notch right there. Let's take a couple more shots. Ugh. Ugh. So being so light, it will tumble when you hit it, but you're generally not going through things like this. When you're talking about going through the jungle, you're going through brush and things like that. So it's definitely removing some wood, but you can actually feel, you know, the lack of power going through things like the 1-inch forest trees, which we'll go over. Those should pop really well. Ah! I just used my left hand to stab it into a piece of wood, and that hurt like hell. All right, so let's try this guy. Too much power. Hold on, let's straighten that back out again. All right. Wow, that just hit really nicely over here. Let's try again. Oh man, it's just bouncing. Look at the, I don't know if you guys can pick that up. X-Men. All right, so let's try again. This thing is just a beast. That was huge. I can't keep this stick up, but it's getting torn up. It is getting torn up, and I'm hitting in a different spot. Let me make sure it's still in there. It's still in there. Gosh, I wish I had my left hand. Ugh, look at that. That is a devastating hit. All right. Ugh. I can't. We're going to have to swing at something that's placed solid so you can get an actual look. Hitting a bouncy stick is really doing nothing for these two, but I need to break it anyway. Well, welcome back, everybody. So that just exploded. It was awesome. The phone definitely took a shot. So one of the things that was kind of cool is I threw this back in there temporarily, and it was like this. You know what I mean? Leaning. You can see it was like that, but it was actually stuck in there because I did a drop, boop, and just left it, but it dropped backwards like that. So it's putting all that stress just on the tip. But there is no tip bending going to happen there. I got to be careful with this one because, oh, this one bent even more. See that hard turn right there? This one, the heat treat on these really are terrible near the tips. But that's cold steel. You know, you get a lot of that with them. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They straighten out so easy because there's no heat treat. It straightens out really simply. All right, so let's do this. Let's put you guys here. At least this log isn't going to bounce. At least it shouldn't bounce all over the place. All right, so let's take a few whacks at this thing. Oh, look at that bite. That is beautiful. That should not do that because that is really thick. But that was super nice. Oh, I could hear it whiz by my head. That's the beauty of a machete. Yeah. And you can see I'm not holding back with one over the other. I'm swinging at it. Yeah. 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 Golly, that was so nice. All right, let's try the big guy. Let's try the shorter big guy. All right. Oh my gosh. That just went in. That went in probably a 1/2 inch right there. That's really nice. That was loud. Yeah. Oh, you can just see the different kinds. I don't even think I'm swinging as hard with this one, although you don't have to because of the weight. It's just going to bring it down. But wow, the kinds of hits are completely different. This one, when it hits, it's just boom, things explode. When that one hits, it just dives right in. Super slicey, super, there goes my arm. Golly. Oh my gosh. All right. So this thing is a freaking monster. It's a freaking monster. This one is a great machete. That's what it is. It's a great machete. Is it a great sword? Is it? No. But it's a great machete. And I'll tell you, man, sometimes in life, all you need is a great machete. Let's see. Let's see. Ugh, yeah. Ugh. Yeah. There we go. How about them apples? That's beautiful right there. All right, let's find a 1-inch forestry. All right, let's continue the fun. So, I got this thing wrapped in between 2 fingers. All right, so the cut wasn't clean, and it hurt like hell. So I'm not going to try that again. I was thinking, I wonder if I could just do it that way. That's no bueno. All right, so let me put down the dbad Gladiator. Let's put this in my right hand. I got a nice branch right here, and it's just going to be, I don't know if you can tell, but it's getting shorter and shorter. Every single one of those was a cut. I mean, just easy. This is what it's made for, though. You know what I mean? It's for trekking through a jungle and just doing this and carving yourself a little walking path. Let's try the other one. This one is chopping through a jungle of orcs and things like that. All right, so we're gonna go way up high. I think you guys are in. Ooh, I barely reach out. All right, let's get this one here. Oh, I can't even swing. There we go. Oh, it's hung up. I'm like, I know it cut. I know it cut. All right, let's try again. This one's a little thicker as far as and it's wrapped in vines. I didn't even realize that. But it's still, every one is a cut. So you have 2 completely different kinds of animal here. And man, these vines are terrible. Really wish I had the ability to swing the other hand. But cutting. This thing, oh, holy Moses. This is definitely better against harder materials, bigger limbs, things like that. Bone. Where this guy is just a brush menace, right? So I need to carve a path. It's going to carve a path. With this one, if I need to carve a path, it's going to carve a path, but it's not going to be as slicey as this. Just 100%. This is a slicey machete. It's a machete. That's what it's supposed to be. This is a I am going to tear you up type thing. And that's the difference between the 2. And that is why I did a versus here, because it's fun. It's not a versus of 2 equal parts, but it's a versus of 2 equal styles, right? 2 design styles. They're both Gladius styles. But you can have 2 of the same style that are completely different things. And that's what this video really shows off. It shows off that just because something's different doesn't mean it's not the same. And just because something's the same doesn't mean it's not different. And reversed, right? I mean, they're both the same, both very different, but they're both not, not so different, but not the same. And then I had one of those inside burps. I mean, this is my favorite machete. This is why It's never been in a knife sale. I really like this. I'm keeping it. It's mine. I just realized wow, I took out a chunk of the steel. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys, but right here, there is a giant piece of steel missing. Look at that. That is a huge chunk of steel. That wasn't there before, so I must have just did that hitting some of the harder sticks, because clearly it's not made for that. It's made for hitting soft things. But that's a big chunk out of the edge. So I'm gonna have to fix that. And for me, it's worth it to fix because I really like it. This one, it pretty much doesn't matter what it hits. I mean, you're not gonna, there's no big chunks taken off of there. None. It's just beautiful. It is beautiful. There's no bending, no twisting, no tip frickin' forming. It's just awesome, man. This thing is so awesome. I love it. I couldn't love it more. I couldn't love it more. Even if it fed me hot dogs on the weekends, I couldn't love this thing more. It is freaking amazing. So I'm not gonna, this isn't one of those verses where there's a winner versus a loser, because they're for two different purposes, and that is a winner for machete purposes, and this is a winner for everything else. So it doesn't come down to that. It comes down to, could I, even though this is my design, could I recommend this? Absolutely. Would I recommend it over this? No. But if you said, all right, so dbad, I need to get one of the two. What are you using it for? Well, there's, my backyard has a bunch of like light bushes and things like that, and I need to go through it. All right, well then get a machete. I mean, don't be stupid. But if you want to protect yourself and you want to protect the ones that you love, or you just want to win, you get attacked by a moose, I don't care. This is the one. Without a doubt. All right, so that's it for this one. Speaking of the one, it really hurts to hold it like that. I don't know why I keep doing this. Muscle memory. Hi, I'm Donnie all day. Until next knife.